All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So we'll take another look at SOUN and BBAI. I think the easy thing to say is two things, all right? Number one, unfortunately, we saw the fall instead of the bounce, right? I made my video on Monday. I talked about the 8 moving average being that point. It needed to bounce or it might fall, all right? And clearly it came down. The crazy thing, again, is we're still seeing these basically doji candles, right? Like, I'm not a candle trader, right? That's not my thing. So when I call something a doji, I'm sure there's a purist out there that's getting so mad because I'm calling it a doji. But yeah, these are all just these like crazy meaningless candles. And I'll talk about more on that shortly, all right? BBAI, listen, you know, if you watch my videos and if you're a new person, you're going to hear this all the time. Earnings scare me. Okay, I am never one to talk about like being better than the fear, buy during the fear. Like, no, all right, you should know what you're afraid of, and I consider myself a decent trader, all right, and I know what I'm afraid of. Look, I guarantee you, the strongest man in the world, the strongest woman in the world, will not go fight a bear or a shark, right? Like, know what you're afraid of and avoid it. Come in and destroy what you're good at, right? So that's just a solid, underlying theme that's going to be coming up on BBAI, all right? But before we go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll talk about the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There's a bunch of them, and I don't know if it's worth deleting some or not, but you will see some horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video online, comment good or bad if you disagree. Look, anything you can do helps so much with these YouTube algorithms. And for real, if you can hit that share button, it does wonders. It's a little click, but it's super powerful. All right, so let's talk about SOUN. And before I talk about today and what I think about tomorrow, let's take a step back, right? So my last video was on Monday. And with the close of the candle, I stressed we were going to see a bounce or die moment. All right, this is actually the second time we've seen this. The first one was right here, all right, on the 26th, and clearly bounce was the answer last time. All right. The weird thing is, and I don't want to necessarily call it a weird thing, right? But this on the day of took off, right? This day before it was not on the 8 moving average, right? The day it opens on it and goes. It was interesting that this day closes under and then the next day drops down. So I don't know if I'm just overthinking the 8 moving average. I normally don't actually go that detailed into it, right? But just an interesting thing to see that when it was able to open on it the next day, it took off. When it was already under, it just kind of made it easier to drop, right? But again, you know, I do not have a crystal ball. I have good technicals and this and that, but nothing's guaranteed, right? And bounce or die, because I'm telling you, this really could have gone both ways, and it's why we always talk about both sides of the coin, right? This does not bounce. This definitely doesn't even open anywhere near where we close, right? Because this day closes at this 563 number. The day after actually opens at 520 something, right? So 40 cents under. Even our highest wick never even touches our lowest wick, right? So there was no fooling on this Tuesday. This was a fall, right? The interesting thing to me is the candles, all right? It is crazy to me that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 out of 12 out of 14 day, 11 out of 14 are dojis, whereas we have 3 real candles. And let's be honest, we have 1 real one and 2 kind of not dojis, not real ones, right? But whatever. This is a crazy chart, all right? I don't believe I have ever seen this much uncertainty for this long a time on a single ticker. It's crazy to me, you know? And I think it speaks to 2 things, really. Number one, it speaks to the power of AI. all right? I don't know when, I don't know to what capacity. I know AI is not going away, and AI is going to be a really big part of my life going forward. It's funny with weed, right? Because weed stocks are something I cover, weed stocks are something I trade. I definitely remember being this like sophomoric idiot coming into the market and being like, oh man, weed's going to one day be legal and this and that. Come 10 years onward, nothing's legal at the level I expected just yet, right? I think there is nowhere near as much concern or doubt with AI because AI is real. All right. Now, when you compound the fact that the biggest juggernaut in AI, which is NVIDIA, is investing in I say this with love, a small random called SoundHound, all of a sudden SoundHound has so much more weight, so much more clout, so much more justification, so much more enter the adjective than your average random in the AI, right? I mean, this connection is what I believe making 11 out of 14 days so uncertain. It's really, really hard to walk away from those. It is. You're in the what I believe to be the hottest sector in the world in terms of like what's going to revolutionize the next couple years, couple decades, or whatever that might be. And the number one, right? So I'm just here guessing because one more time, I've never seen this much, right? But my concern is losing this line because I know I talked about it on the last video. Green, 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 green will turn to red, 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 red. It's the other side of the coin that I hate, all right? And the other thing I talked about, which again was on Monday, look, I always say if you stay over the 8 and the 20, you're still bullish in my eyes, all right? The problem is no one wants to drop from 6 all the way to 4 and just smile while you say, hey, I lost 33%, but the dude said it's bullish, so whatever, right? No one wants to lose 33%, right? So I think a little bit is really interesting that we haven't just done the quick fall. The good thing is obviously this 20 moving average is creeping up, right? So now I'm at least thinking 420 is the number that'll catch us. Honestly, I had no idea that was the number and there was no weed pun intended there. But yeah, again, it's hard to make assumptions. And I'm telling you, I got to assume bad things, right? On the bouncer, or I normally say die. I use the word fall, right? But on the bouncer fall day, I thought it was fall. On this, I do think we're going down. I do. And then it's really driven by this down here below. All right. Number one, volume again. We did the exact same thing on the last one, right? We were pushing 300 million. All of a sudden, we come down to roughly 90% lost volume, or at roughly 30 million instead of 300. Once again, we pushed 300 and we're now back down at 40. We've basically given up 90% once again. What's also worse, as I zoom, they're not letting me zoom in enough. Look at over there. Today's volume was 43.2. The average 50-day was 43.9. We were actually below the 50-day average of volume today. You know, I always say it, as volume goes down, bad things happen, all right? I don't know if we're going to see the same magical pop that we did, and the main reason I'm concerned is because we don't have the 8 moving average that might do it. We're actually below that, right? Maybe we hit the 20, and maybe that'll be a strong line that lets us bounce. I don't know. But I think to me, it's really, really, man, I wouldn't even get in here. I don't think I can see myself re-entering SoundHound until it gets over $6. I need to get over that 8 moving average before I maybe you can justify 575. Maybe. I think I would rather wait a little bit and try to make this a little quote unquote safer, right? There's no such thing as safer. I'm really embarrassed I said quote unquote because I hate when people do that. But yes, SoundHound, this volume is worrying me. MACD looks like we're about to get the bad divergence, right? The RSI has had the bad divergence, which what does that look? Divergence just means two lines going away from each other. It seems like the green one is about to diverge under. We already saw that happen only a few days ago on the RSI. So MACD still has green over red while RSI has red over green. I want those to be in harmony, right? It feels like MACD is about to join the RSI. And again, I'm worried volume drops tomorrow. I'm worried we come back to like 20-ish, 30-ish million. It wasn't that long ago that this was a 6 million share a day stock too, right? So the even worse thing would be basically going away from it. Because look, all of this is a green that could go down to red, right? I still haven't even talked about the 200 moving average yet, right? But we still don't have two consecutive good candles over this line to make me believe, okay? I still think the 20 is going to hold it. I still think this 4 line might hold it. I still think that this 50 moving average might hold it. But there's literally still a chance we come back all the way down to 260, roughly where the 200 moving average is, right? Like that is still a possibility on the table that if you are not focused on, might slap you pretty hard, right? But again, we've got 2 moving averages and a really strong $4 line to hopefully, take care of things before we're talking about sub 3, right? So overall, I'm concerned. I would say 420 and $4 are my next immediate moments. If we lose 4, it will be a very, we're going to come down to 316 real fast, if not maybe all the way to the 50 moving average real fast. There is nothing but gap up right here. And as I zoom out, you can see it. There's a lot of just quick up, quick down, quick nothings in these two little lines, especially from the 4 down to the 316. This is just up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, right? So it will red pretty hard if we lose 4. That cannot happen, all right? So I don't know of any other upcoming news to look forward to, and that on its own is a little scary as well. Let me know if there is some other news, but I don't think we need to look at the weekly much. I do believe this is still a daily chart stock. This is day to day, and we need to see 2 candles in a row up to confirm. You can almost argue that was 2 bad candles in a row. I'm still going to call that a doji and not call this a confirmation right there, all right? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. I'm telling you, even if you disagree, the best thing that you can do is have an educated disagreement with someone because both sides win, all right? So, yeah, let me know, and let's take a look at BBAI, okay? Real quick, if you can please subscribe, if you can please share this video. Oh, it does wonders with these YouTube algorithms, all right? So the biggest thing that I have to stress is, I hope you know this, I am not here claiming to be perfect. I am not here claiming to be all-knowing or have this crystal ball that sees in the future, all right? There are things that scare me. All right, the FDA is one of them. I am so afraid of a stock getting the thumbs down from an FDA that I rarely trade bio and pharma stocks. Rarely, okay? Another thing that scares me is earnings. On any stock, any ticker, any sector. I don't care if it's a blue chip. I don't care if it's a penny stock or anything in between. Earnings are crazy. Earnings are crazy because it's almost less about the news and it's more about the random reaction from the market. And I say random because I'm telling you, I have seen companies drop good earnings, and I just see the biggest red candle that came out of nowhere. I have seen earnings where they announce reverse splits and bad revenue, and lo and behold, the thing's up over 100% because of crazy meme volume and whatever we want to call it, right? Earnings is the craziest unknown, and for me, it is much better to avoid it and either jump in after if it's good, or avoid the avalanche after down and get back in when it's ready to go. All right. Now, again, I'm never here to tell you what to do with your money, but I'm at least here saying if you want to rip off my strategy, go for it. Right. Earnings are scary, and anything can happen tomorrow. I don't care right now that we are over all 5 moving averages. I actually don't care that today was a decent volume day that was pretty nicely over the 50 moving average. I don't care that we have a positive MACD and a relatively healthy, still 71 RSI that could actually still go up. None of these colorful lines matter to me because everything will be about earnings. All right. There's going to be some excuse me. There's going to be some previews that come out. There's going to be some actual final numbers that come out, and then there's going to be the call. It will be a combination of all of it. All right. And there might be some crazy up and down moments in between, but like at the end of it all is when we'll probably see the reaction, unless maybe something big happens. But yeah, my best advice really is just stand on the sides, watch what happens, and either jump in if it looks great or step away and watch it fall and then jump back in. All right. This can easily come back down to 217 easily if earnings are bad. I think we will very quickly lose that, the 8 moving average. I don't even think that the 20 moving average is going to hold. I don't think the top of this candle will. I actually think it'll be roughly the middle of it, around 220, 215. I don't know what I just said, right? But somewhere around there makes complete sense. Basically where the 50 moving average is, 216. Look at that. If earnings are bad, it will do that. Otherwise, I mean, let me just zoom out, right? Like, what are we looking at? My next lines are up here. And we will probably just bypass this 515, 517, whatever, doesn't matter, and maybe start heading up towards 7. Because, yeah, look at that. Red, 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 green, 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 red, 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 red. Could be a good one, right? So I imagine it's either 520 plus or 220 worries. I think that's my best guess. And again, it is nothing more than a guess because, man, earnings are crazy. All right. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. I will be watching for sure. All right. Thank you so much.